In the heart of what was once the Great Persia, a place full of contradictions and burning passions, we find Iran, a nation that both fascinates and captivates equally. This country is one of the cradles of civilization, offering a fascinating mix of ancient heritage and modern challenges. In a time when it is crucial to broaden our understanding of the world, knowing both the positive aspects and the challenges of Iran helps to understand its rich complexity and the admirable resilience of its people. Welcome to the Fascinating Traditions channel. Here, we unravel fascinating secrets and explore the incredible world around us. Don't miss out on the discoveries. Subscribe now, activate notifications, and embark on this knowledge adventure with us. Imagine a drone gliding through the sky at dusk, flying over a dry landscape while filming old trucks silently crossing the borders of Iran. These vehicles don't carry treasures like gold or jewels, but rather fuel, smuggled along hidden paths that wind through mountains and valleys of the border areas. This is the fascinating world of fuel smuggling in Iran, an illegal activity that has become routine and carries profound local and international consequences. On these clandestine trails, known only to the smugglers and passed down from father to son, everyone carefully avoids checkpoints and aerial surveillance. The participants range from drivers risking their lives to make some extra money to powerful figures profiting greatly from this illicit trade. For some, smuggling is seen as an essential means of economic survival. For others, it is a serious violation of the country's laws. Economically, the damage is immense. Legitimate gas stations close their doors, unable to compete with the low prices of smuggled fuel. Smuggling not only affects government subsidies, but also impacts global fuel prices, perpetuating a cycle of dependence and corruption that is difficult to break. Geopolitically, fuel smuggling stirs tensions with neighboring nations like Pakistan and Turkey, which accuse Iran of destabilizing the regional market. These allegations exacerbate diplomatic relations, making them more tense and complex, with frequent disputes and mistrust. This phenomenon of fuel smuggling reflects the complexity of the economic and political crises that Iran faces. For some, it represents a chance for quick enrichment. For others, it signals a deficient system, incapable of protecting or sustaining its population. This duality deserves a deeper investigation into the dark secrets of the Iranian economy. In Iran, where laws based on Islamic principles prohibit the consumption of alcohol, there is a notable contrast between the established rules and everyday life. This ban aims to preserve public order and morality, but in reality, it has spurred the creation of a black market for alcohol that openly defies these laws. In Iranian cities and villages, beneath the surface, a vibrant and resilient drinking culture flourishes. In private homes, secret parties take place away from the eyes of the authorities, where bottles of alcohol not only symbolize disobedience but are also reasons for celebration. This alcohol is often produced locally in a traditional manner or smuggled across borders, making it a luxury item and a danger to those who consume it. The government, in turn, seeks to combat this practice with strict punishments. Those caught consuming or distributing alcohol can be subject to heavy fines, imprisonment, and even lashes, depending on the severity of the case. Although these actions are publicly justified as essential to maintain social order and Islamic values, they often result in a vicious cycle of bribery and corruption. In this system, some manage to escape punishment thanks to their connections or resources, while others, less fortunate, face the full severity of the law. Moreover, in Iran, the enforcement of laws reveals a significant disparity that reflects the existing social and economic inequality. While the elite often manage to dodge legal consequences through political connections or bribes, ordinary citizens, especially the poorer ones, face much stricter enforcement. This disparity not only weakens trust in the legal system, but also fuels a sense of injustice and resentment among the population. The discrepancy between the laws and daily practice sheds light on the complexity of Iranian society. On one hand, the presence of a black market for alcohol and secret parties signals a yearning for personal freedom and resistance to imposed restrictions. On the other hand, the severe penalties demonstrate the state's effort to maintain social control and respect religious precepts. This duality between what is law and what is lived deeply reflects the challenges Iran faces in navigating between tradition and modernity, control and freedom. The unique structure of the weekend in Iran, which falls on Thursdays and Fridays, contrasts with the typical Saturday and Sunday weekend in most Western countries, significantly affecting social, economic life, and international relations. This calendar poses challenges for businesses in Iran, which must make operational adjustments to align with international markets, often maintaining reduced operations during their weekend to match the working days of global partners. Additionally, schools and universities struggle with logistical issues in aligning their academic calendars with international norms, affecting class schedules and participation in global events. The different rest days also complicate international relations and diplomatic communications, as Iranian government offices are closed when others are open. Culturally, the Iranian weekend reflects deep religious values, with Friday as a sacred prayer day, reinforcing cultural identity but also presenting integration challenges in a globalized world. This situation illustrates how local practices can significantly impact international business, education, and diplomatic relations, highlighting the complex interplay between cultural traditions and global integration. The predominance of women in Iranian universities is another remarkable aspect that challenges common perceptions about the role of women in Iranian society. While Iran is often viewed through a lens that highlights the social and legal restrictions imposed on women, the academic landscape presents a different reality. Surprisingly, women not only make up the majority of university students, but also excel in a variety of fields, from the sciences to the humanities. Despite the notable presence of women in higher education, it sharply contrasts with their participation in other spheres of public and private life in Iran. In the job market, for instance, women face a series of obstacles, including restrictive labor laws and cultural norms that favor men in leadership and decision-making positions. Moreover, in political spaces and many high-visibility sectors, women are often underrepresented, reflecting a mismatch between their educational achievements and the conservative social structures. Within academia, Iranian women capitalize on educational opportunities to advance their knowledge and careers. However, even in this environment, they face challenges such as subtle discrimination, a scarcity of female mentors in leadership positions, and societal expectations about gender roles, which can compromise their advancement and impact their career trajectories. The need to balance family responsibilities with academic demands can also place women at a disadvantage. Despite these challenges, Iranian female academics show resilience and determination. Many become leaders in their fields, making significant contributions to the scientific and intellectual advancement of the country. The presence and success of women in universities are often seen as symbols of progress and indicative of potential for broader changes in Iranian society. The contrast between the high qualification of women in academia and their restricted opportunities in other areas is evidence that education, while a means of empowerment, is not sufficient on its own to subvert entrenched patriarchal norms. The discussion about gender dynamics in higher education in Iran highlights the complexity of gender issues in educational and social environments, illustrating that the journey toward full equality is both complex and fraught with challenges. The largest hand-woven carpet in the world, produced in Iran, transcends its decorative function to become a symbol of national pride and a celebration of the country's artistic tradition. Its creation involved hundreds of artisans who used techniques passed down through generations to weave threads of vibrant colors and intricate patterns that reflect Persian culture. This carpet not only displays remarkable technical skill but also serves as a vital element in celebrations and everyday Iranian life, carrying deep spiritual and historical meanings. However, its production also sheds light on the challenges faced by the carpet industry in Iran, such as economic sanctions and competition from low-cost products, complicating the financial sustainability of the artisans. Thus, the carpet not only demonstrates the rich cultural heritage of Iran, but also reflects the dilemma between preserving artisanal traditions and adapting to the demands of a constantly evolving global market, symbolizing Iran's struggle to maintain its cultural and economic identity in an era of rapid global changes. Body language and gestures, which vary significantly between different cultures, are particularly complex in Iran, where they can easily lead to substantial misunderstandings. Everyday gestures can carry specific meanings, reflecting deep social and religious values. An example of this is taraf, an Iranian courtesy practice that involves repeatedly refusing offers before finally accepting them, accompanied by facial expressions and gestures that express humility. Avoiding direct eye contact between men and women, which might be interpreted in many Western cultures as a lack of confidence, is considered inappropriate and disrespectful in Iran. Moreover, the thumbs-up gesture, seen as positive in many places, can be offensive there. Understanding these gestures and their context is crucial for avoiding faux pas and promoting respectful and effective communication, especially important for foreigners visiting or doing business in the country. Regarding polygamy, it is legally permitted in Iran under Islamic laws, which allow a man to have up to 4 wives simultaneously, provided that he ensures justice and equal financial and emotional support among them. This practice, anchored in interpretations of the Quran, is conditioned on the man's ability to treat all his wives equitably. However, despite its legality, polygamy faces growing opposition and is the subject of intense debates in modern Iranian society, reflecting a tension between tradition and contemporary values. Resistance to polygamy in Iran comes from various fronts, especially from women and women's rights advocacy groups. They argue that polygamy is fundamentally unfair and discriminatory towards women. These groups emphasize that in practice, it is nearly impossible for a man to treat multiple wives with absolute equality, often resulting in imbalances and injustices that negatively impact the lives of women and their families. Moreover, they criticize polygamy as a relic of ancient times that no longer reflects the values and expectations of a modern and egalitarian society. In public discussions and on social media, the debate over polygamy also intertwines with broader issues of civil rights and gender equality. Many Iranians, particularly the youth and educated class, view the practice as incompatible with modern ideals of marriage and partnership, which should be based on mutual love and respect. This perspective is reinforced by the reality that, in many cases, subsequent wives and their children face significant financial and social challenges, as well as considerable stigma. However, there are still segments of society that defend polygamy as part of Iran's cultural and religious identity. These proponents argue that when conducted according to Islamic laws, the practice can be a valid expression of faith and tradition. They also point out that polygamy can offer practical solutions to social issues, such as the care of widows and orphans. This defense highlights the complex interplay between traditional values and the evolving norms of a modern society, illustrating the ongoing tension within Iranian society regarding the practice of polygamy. Despite these defenses, the trend in modern Iranian society is increasingly towards questioning and opposing polygamy. The debate over polygamy is often heated and reflects a broader conflict between tradition and modernity, between religious prescriptions and movements for civil rights and gender equality. The evolution of this debate is uncertain, but it is clear that polygamy continues to be a topic of intense discussion and division in Iran, symbolizing the tensions and transformations shaping the country in the 21st century. This shift towards questioning traditional practices is indicative of a societal transformation where more Iranians, particularly younger generations, are advocating for changes that align more closely with global perspectives on equality and human rights. As this debate continues, it may lead to significant cultural and legal shifts, reflecting a broader aspiration among many Iranians to reform aspects of their society to better reflect contemporary values and norms. If you found this topic intriguing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content like this. Share the video with friends who might also be interested in these cultural differences, and click on the video on the screen to continue exploring the unique aspects of other cultures. Don't miss the chance to deepen your understanding of this and other fascinating topics. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next exploration.